That time of week again. Time to hit your fellow teammates with as many items as you got. Good old classic blue versus red Mario Kart team circuit today. We got some of our very favorite, very usual entrants. Getting started right now. So see the first race. And first of all, I'm going to applaud myself for being on time today. I think it was like the first time I've actually been on time to a Nintendo team circuit that I stream every week. But anyways, yeah, so it's Tuesday, so that means it's teams. If you're around this past Sunday, that is when the free-for-alls are, and we had Kugi take that in basically playing as Steezy, which looks to be the case again. And I feel bad because I'm kind of outing the strategy, but we'll see. I think it'll work for him. It definitely works, I would think, in-game because not everybody's watching the stream, but in case you're curious what I'm talking about, technically, Kugi won last week, or I'm sorry, this past Sunday's free-for-all circuits, but entered as Steezy's alias and is also using Steezy's main Donkey Kong. So I guess the hope is that he gets targeted less by people just who know that Kugi's really good and just dump all their items on him, which apparently it worked because he got first place. So hey, how about that? So anyways, we are right in it, and it does look like the strategy does continue to work because Kugi with a massive lead in race 1. Meanwhile, it looks like blue team in general just kind of cooking because I don't see a single red soul within that first group. So either everybody's favorite team is blue and there aren't humans manning the red team yet, or the blue team is just dominating right now. Who knows? But yeah. Happy to be here today. It does look like bottom left we got spectator mode via Liam. So it does look like we got Cuneo, who's also very, very good in these brackets. We got, of course, Dilly returning to his Luigi main in the top left. That's pretty cool. Also getting it done for blue team. And speaking of red team, Nintunist is definitely repping the red team and finally making some moves for those guys because they definitely needed it. So with that, I'm going to see who else we got. It looks like we have exactly 4 streamers today. And it does remain to be seen if Liam is blue or red team, so I'll be curious. If he's blue team, that's going to be so hype. If he's red team, it'll still be cool. But if he's blue team, that means we got two never mind. We want Liam to be red team, preferably. But shout-outs to Kugi for winning that first race by what looks like, I was going to say a small mile, but I realized how that doesn't make any sense. But okay, yeah, so red team not going down without a fight. EO, who's been very solid in these things, taking second. And meanwhile, Nintunist right behind, and then a gaggle of blue right underneath of that. And if you're just tuning in and you are interested in getting involved in these, guess what? It's free, it's easy, you can do it right now. If you want to play, just basically turn on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Go to online play tournaments, use that code when you search for a tournament by code, and you're in. That's basically it. It's that simple. But it does appear that I think everybody who's playing right now, at least streaming for us, is in the same lobby. I see a ton of Mount Wario, so that's probably what we're going to see, and it looks unanimous. We're going to Mount Wario, and we'll get a reveal very soon on what team Liam is on. Dilly, if you want to put the coins thing on, it definitely helps. You don't have to though, but like if you want to track it though, I think it only is helpful. We all know how the scoring in this game is a bit of a pain in terms of checking it. But all right, we got a full lobby, ladies and gentlemen. We got a full lobby. So it doesn't look like everybody's favorite team is blue necessarily. It just looks like amazing. Liam is red team, so that does mean that we get 2 red and 2 blue today, which is it's nice when that happens. So, taking it to Toad's Turnpike, a bit of a headache of a level, and also I'm confused because I thought I saw Mount Wario. I don't know. Either I got mixed or one person picked Mount Wario and happened to get the RNG. I guess I was not paying attention, as well as maybe I should have, but it doesn't matter. So here we are in Toad's Turnpike, Nintunus in a very early lead. Dilly, lots of room to climb, but not in bad company. Dr. Liam currently zooming past people with getting hit by a car though. Was about to chase down a couple blue teammates. Does get the boost off of the car. It is going to be sitting last, but it's not like a bad last. And honestly, this is a debatable point where you might just want to get rid of that bomb. You do have 3 mushrooms. Okay, yeah, there goes the bomb. And, oh, that was a little scary. I thought I was going to run into it. But as I'm watching Liam make his way back to the top, Nintunis still continues to be at the top behind Knight, getting hit by what appeared to be a shell of some sort. I looked a little too late. It looked like it was green. But anyways, there's EO right back at it. And EO is on Nintunis' team, so it did look like he was cautious to use that sound box. Also, EO apparently... you know, very possible for him to be high up in the race, so why not hold on to it? But it does look like he already used it. Meanwhile, it is now Kuki who finds himself in a bad position last. So we'll see, man. We'll see if the Steezy alias is going to hold strong today, or if maybe people are on their strategy, or maybe no one knows the difference, and maybe Kuki was just racing really good on Sunday, you know? I guess we'll see, but... in either case, Nintunis firmly sitting in that 4th, 5th range with Liam, who's finally got a hold of himself just in time for lap 3. And Dilly's probably praying to RNG God at the moment that he gets that. Okay, blue shell, that's something. That is something. I don't know who is in first. It looks like a blue, so it is going to hit a red team member, hopefully in time for him to do something, and does get a last-minute 9th place, so not so bad. Meanwhile, blue team does sweep that 1, 2, and 3, and Kuki making all kinds of moves to get himself back in 3rd place after being in last, so fine job by him. But I just want to remind everybody, yeah, this is where we're at, and this is where we're going to be at for the next hour and a half, 2 hours or so. So you're welcome to join in. It is red versus blue, the old traditional classic. Yeah, about as classic as it gets. Dude, Toad's Turnpike is way more stressful than it needs to be. It's even more stressful than, like, Grumble Volcano, where there's, like, stuff tearing away, because you just have, like, cars, and they're just, like, there. You got trucks, you got buses, and they're just in the middle of the road, man. No one's paying attention to where they're driving. Real problem. But it does appear that everyone is going to continue in the same lobby, and it does look like Mount Wario again, unless I get mixed. I'm going to watch this time, because I don't want to get mixed. Because I do see the desert there. All right, and we're clear of the desert, despite what Liam wanted. I do believe he was one of the desert picks. But, all right, so we got a nice comfy lobby here of some regulars and some names that actually everyone's pretty familiar here. I haven't seen Seabass that much, and I haven't seen Heine that much, but everyone else looking like what we're used to seeing. So while this happens, I'm going to get an alternate screen. Now that I have like a finite amount of like streamers, I could sort of do things in a better way. So bear with me just a second as I reorganize one of the other overlays. All right, now that my brain has worked overtime, I'm going to switch. So we got both blues on one side and then both reds on one side. And then I'm going to prep the other screen to basically mirror this so it flip-flops the two. And I think that'll be a good little formula for us today. So it'll make this, the screen switching a lot simpler and easier to focus in on stuff. Ha, I've done it. Okay, great. So, right now, yeah, Mount Wario, it looks like, where are we on? Stretch number 3 already. Man, that took me a minute. So, anyways, we'll see where we're going. Oops, I got the wrong tags. This is what I'm looking for. All right, so those look like Kugi won that one, and it looks like Nintunis wasn't too far behind. So that is now blue team taking 1 and 2 with red team being the middle of the pack. So I think that was different from last week. Excuse me, last race. I may be making that up. But either way, that's what we're looking at. And I think I will take a quick look. I know we're only like 2 races in now, but I'm going to see what the early front runners is. If I was a little bit more heads up, I would have been able to calculate from the last one. But that is, I believe, 2 races in a row for blue team as far as getting 1-2. This time interrupted at 3. But it does look like, speaking of Grumble Volcanoes, how we're looking now, that's Bowser's Castle. So we might see Moo Moo's Farm, we might see Bowser's Castle. Can't be too sure yet. Either way, these guys are going to remain in the same exact lobby right where they are, making things very simple for your boy. So very easy to share these screens, but I do want to remind everybody, and I want to say this a lot in the beginning because I want to do a better job at this. Basically, if you want to join, you can do that right now. It's all free, and it's very easy to do. So you basically just turn on your Mario Kart. You search tournaments by code. Use that code in the top right of the screen, and you're playing. So this is red versus blue. So it's kind of a simple premise. Any scores that you get or any points that you get basically goes to your team. And I believe the way we do things here is because sometimes teams have a tendency to be uneven, so raw numbers win. That's an average of team scores. So the earlier you join, the better off you'll be in terms of letting your races fully reflect the work that you put in. But technically you join at any time, so keep that in mind. But right now, we do have Kugi doing a very nice job getting the early lead, as he does. But in the meanwhile, Nintuna's not doing too bad himself. Is right behind Kugi at 2nd place. Meanwhile, yeah, Kugi and Liam going to be chilling sort of in the middle towards the back of the pack. And let's see if I can get a beat on who's where. So there's Nintuna's fighting it out with Kugi Cougs for first place. Gets a little messy up there, although Nintuna's did just get hit by a red shell. Oh, never mind, he didn't. He broke it. I was looking at Kugi's screen. So Kugi's just a little bit further ahead as far as like stream delay goes. Meanwhile, Nintuna's a little further ahead as far as the race goes. So we'll see if Nintuna's could sort of get this lead a little bit. And here they go, different paths, which is a good thing for Nintuna's because Kugi did have a red shell on deck, but did lose it to lightning, so not going to be much of an impact. Meanwhile, Kugi does have the higher top-end speed person. Did get passed by a teammate with a bullet bill. So does have to sweat the catch to Nintuna's because it does appear that Nintuna's has broken away. Mario's not usually the breakaway character as he is a middleweight, but Nintuna's... Yeah, there we go. Getting hit by something, and now I see a blue shell out. I don't know where it went. It does look like... I see it still floating about. Okay, yeah, so that was a blue team blue shell, which is going to hit Nintuna's. Not much you could do about that. Your blue shell is always going to hit the opponent furthest ahead from the opposite team, not necessarily first place. As per the nature of teams in this game. So we'll see what Nintuna's can do. Does get some fortunate luck in front of him as a couple people do get hit, but right back to unfortunate town as he gets hit by Fire Flower, and then is going to bump into the Icy, and oh man, that is rough. 8th place for Nintuna's. Meanwhile, Kugi's going to hold it down for blue team, and I believe that does put blue team in a little bit of a lead, because I think that's the first 3 races going at least positions 1 and 2 to blue. And since now we're officially 3 races in, I am going to verify scores because why not? Sometimes I don't always do the best with this, and honestly, for team scores, I could probably add this into a scoreboard, so that's going to be a project for next week. As far as adding that into the overlays, I don't think that will be too difficult, but keeping up with it might be a whole different story. Because if we had more racers, I'd be able to show you more races instead of futzing around. That's right, I said futz with the scores. But anyways, speaking of scores, here they are. Yeah, blue team off to a very early lead, and we got even teams, so red's just kind of getting beat up a little bit. And Kugi and Knight putting in that real work for blue, and red hanging in there with EO and Wheeler. Meanwhile, that last race for Nintuna's Gonna kind of put him in an unusual position. Nintunis is usually a front runner for these events as far as placing really well. I believe he got 3rd or 2nd last week. I think maybe 3rd in the regular circuit. I could show you guys the results from that in just a moment, but they are probably getting ready. Okay, looks like Liam is finally ventured off into his own lobby, if I'm looking at this correctly. And yeah, it does look like that big lobby broke up. So Liam is on his own and is going to be chilling in first. Meanwhile, Kugi, Dilly, and Nintunis all going to be on their 5th race, going to remain in the same race. So we'll see how this happens, and I'm going to try and figure out who's in Liam's lobby, but it does look like going to be a good lobby for Red. Red does need those points, so if Liam holds on to this first and that pack of Red racers right behind him continues to stay behind him, then that's going to be a huge swing for Red, enough, honestly, to maybe even everything out. But we'll see. So meanwhile, we are in Bowser's Castle. We're still seeing Kugi and Dark do their thing in 1st and 2nd place, which is going to be a hard duo to knock out, especially if they're going to be in the same lobby. That's 2 really good players you got to worry about versus just one you're duking it out with, because that's 2 people's items hitting you if you're an Nintunist. And Nintunis is basically, ooh, that's going to be very fortunate for Nintunist. He's smiling. He's pretty happy about that. Does avoid the hammers, and we'll see if he could pull ahead a little bit. As I mentioned earlier, Metal Mario in the standard kart is not the racer that really pulls away. He doesn't have that top-end speed like a Big Heavy does, a.k.a. like your Roys and your DKs. So we'll see what he can do as long as he keeps doing his race and, avoids any kind of big item hits. He may be able to pull away a little bit, but I do see Kugi not too far behind, both him and Nintunis with the full 10 coins, so are going to hit that top-end speed. But right behind Kugi is a whole bunch of teammates. And Nintunis is going to use that sound box to avoid the red shell, but Kugi still does continue to catch up. Meanwhile, Liam making it happen there for red team, along with Io, Jozu, and Shannon, and not going to have much opposition from blue, so getting a little bit of a fortunate break for blue team. That's kind of the trick with some of these. Basically, with the way these work out, because sometimes you just get a lobby full of bots. You know what I mean? So if that happens, it is an advantage. But there's really no controlling that, and it's just as random for everybody as anybody else. So with that in mind, it does look like Kugi did end up overtaking Nintunist. I got a little bit one-tracked on the other thing. And, oh, man, another rough placing for Nintunist and some visible frustration. Meanwhile, Kunio is going to be that second wheel to Kugi's first, getting 2nd place. Wheeler 3rd. And yeah, Nintunist coming in 5th, so. Alright, so yeah, that's the early bit. So blue team's still gonna be a fair amount ahead. I mean, before last race they were ahead, although red did get a little boon from the last race with Liam getting his own lobby, but that doesn't really. Hold on, let's see. Does Liam? Okay, I think Liam is back in these guys' lobby, and he is. Yep, they're all back and united. So a little bit of a gift to red team, to be honest with you, getting their own lobby just for that little bit and getting some point scores. But I guess unless you're watching the VOD, you would know no difference, which is kind of funny to think about. But sometimes that's how it goes. Yeah. Sometimes that is how it shakes out. But here we go. Here we are. Right back to it. We do have everybody on. What is this? I missed the stage. All right, submarine coaster. Okay, yeah. So let's see. It does look like, I do believe this was a full lobby, so we're not going to be missing all too much, which is good. It's good for everybody. I still want to situate these screens a little bit different. I'm going to get Kugi next to Nintunist because that's where a lot of the action has sort of been. There we go. Bottom right. Ah. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, cool. So it looks like everybody who's streaming for us is in a little bit of a struggle. Meanwhile, I'm trying to see who is in first. It looks like a Rosa. I'm not sure who's playing Rosa today. Or Waluigi, but in either case, what I can tell you is in places 2 and 3 are Jozu and Dark. And here we go. Kugi getting that pass on Jozu and even on Dark, and is going to be trying to catch up to Kunio, who's also on his team. So not the biggest deal, but we all know Kugi wants first. Or should I say Steezy. Again, robbed that red shell, really not a big deal because it's not like you could use it on Kunio anyways. Meanwhile, let's see what Nintunas can do. He is kind of right behind the pack of blue. We've got Kugi's right on Kugi's tail, right on Dark's tail, and was able to get rid of that ink immediately because he has the mushrooms. So let's see what he could do here. This is the last lap, so he is going to have to dig pretty deep. Does get the eventual pass and the Piranha Plant to help him continue past on Dark, so we'll see if he can catch up to Kugi, although it looks like Kugi does land that first place by the skin of his teeth, so to speak. Nintunas are a very respectable third considering where he's coming from and that it was all blue ahead of him, so good job, Nintunas, breaking up that pack of blue. Is going to keep red team's dreams alive just a little bit. Pretty modest placing out of Liam, and that's okay. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get warmed up. But, hey, if you're watching and you want in, you can have in. Use that tournament code within Mario Kart 8 Deluxe menu, and you're in on this tournament. So you can join anytime, and it'll be fun, I promise. So, the sooner you start, the sooner your points get to be next to, basically making an impact. Alright, so let's see where we might be headed. I do see F-Zero, and I see Mario Kart Stadium. And it looks like F-Zero is where we're going. So this is one of those races that does have some shortcuts built in that are kind of significant shortcuts. So we'll see. We'll see how these guys are able to fare with that. But anyways, it does appear that we're all in the same place again. So I'll let it rock like this, and we'll adjust accordingly depending on how everybody's doing. But Luigi looking ready to go. Got that angry look in his eyes. And if you're curious who's on the screen right now, this is who we got. So we got Nintunas repping the top right, Liam on the bottom right, and then Kugi, of course, top left, Dilly bottom left. And if you guys are unfamiliar with these guys, go give their streams a follow. Kind enough to stream their runs to allow us to have a main tournament stream, so without them, none of this is possible. Meanwhile, there's Kugi off to a very fast start along with Dark. These guys have been such a 1-2 punch for blue team. Kind of hard to... I feel like... I know Kugi's not actually itching to use that box on his teammate, but it almost was. But is going to avoid that red shell. I'm not sure what happened, but there we go. Does see the red shell coming. Does use the box as a response, and very good because this is going to allow him to really get a jump ahead and does get the defense from the banana again, which is super helpful. Meanwhile, it does look like Liam and Dilly falling behind just a little bit. It does happen. So what I'm going to do right now is hone in on these guys, and I'm going to flash back to Dilly and Liam as they find their footing because I feel like they do a lot of the times. But, oh, man. Yeah, a weird place for Nintunas to get lightnings. He looks like he's reacting via his webcam. Going to watch out for that blue shell, and there it is, man. The blue team... it feels like they're more organized right now, because it seems like they're ahead of the pack and they have someone back in there enough to basically make things happen for them. But either way, Dilly does find himself now in third place. Small bit of stream lag, and that's okay. Liam has had better days. We know Liam to actually finish pretty well in some of these events. I think he got, I don't know if he got top 8 or if he was top 10 last week, or I'm sorry, on Sunday, excuse me. Technically, that's this week. But Either way, he is going to make some late game surgence and does get a little bit of a gift of a leftover mushroom there, and going to use that mushroom to skid his way to 6th. Meanwhile, it does look like Kugi has already won. Dilly getting 3rd, repping it for that blue team, and blue team just continues to sweep all the tournaments. And I feel like Nintunis's face sort of says a little bit. He looks definitely frustrated at some of the way the placings are going, and I don't blame him. This looks like it's been a little bit of a rough day for Red Team. Tough day to be a Red Team fan. But you know, it'd be like that sometimes. But it does look like we're going to get a nearly full lobby, missing 3 people, so a couple people did drop. As far as this lobby goes, I'm sure it's still gone on elsewhere. Let me make sure none of these guys... Yeah, everyone's still in the same place. That's it, into his get up, stretch it out. Feel better. Get your head in the game. And we got 2 bots on blue team. So despite... And 1 on red team. All right, so that's even enough. At first I was going to say maybe blue team's just botting out, but... They're not. I'm not going to make any excuses. They're just racing well today. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe the Steezy strat is working for Kugi. I mean, he has been winning everything. I don't know. Only 14 racers today, so you know. At least a smaller pool of people really looking to gun for you. But in either case, he does have first place. And if you let this Donkey Kong get too far ahead, no one's going to catch him. That's kind of the beauty of using the big heavies is if your top end is there and you got that early lead, there's a good chance you could really press it, especially in this case when you have a bunch of capable teammates to basically fill in the places behind you and avoid any kind of big red weapon attack. But speaking of red attacks, Nintunis not too far behind, really. So definitely within shouting distance at the very least. And Liam and Dilly doing pretty good, keeping right in the pack. Yeah, the team stuff can be a little bit difficult depending on how, you know, how your teams do in terms of like awareness of who's in front of them, behind them, when to use their weapons, when not to use their weapons. A lot of the homing stuff won't home onto your own teammates, so there is that little bit of factor to help. But I think the smaller attendance mount total, rather, just being 7-on-7, does sort of eliminate some of that. I think some people, especially you're seeing very capable racers in this particular circuit with the likes of like Dark and Kunio and Nintunis and Kugi, like they're aware enough to know when to and when not to use their weapons. So you might see a little bit of that, a little less of that rather in today's circuit, but it definitely does happen where sometimes your teammates just unload. But now that we're in the last lap and kind of on the last stretch, we're starting to see a real story of Kugi continuing to advance his lead and does have to go the long way around here despite that shortcut. And Dark goes ahead, no big deal. He is on the team, and it's looking like third might also go to blue. So, yeah, just like that. And then Nintunis does get past with the shortcut. A little bit more tilt setting in for red. Nintunis doing his best. Wheeler also doing pretty good things for red. Liam just trying to get things going, but it does look like red is sort of running away with the whole thing. So I am going to get a quick look at the scores as I reset the game. Just want to remind everybody it's never too late to join these things, but you only have until 9 to finish all 24 races. And 24 races, it's a fair amount of races. It's going to take you at least an hour, 20, 25 minutes. So you're going to want to sign up soon if you're looking to do it. It's never too late. Well, I say it's never too late, but it can be too late. But now I'm just filling up air until I can get the point totals ready, if I'm being entirely honest. And I got him. It is possible that like people just dump items. I mean, that's why Kugi Hoogs is going at, oh my lord. This is a whooping. All right, so at the very least, it's evident now that blue team does have more people on it. So despite the point totals being more, you know, it is what it is. But these guys are getting started, and it looks like they're broken up again. So not these guys. These guys are not broken up again. But Liam is off on his own once again, and maybe a good thing for red. I don't know. I see another red teammate, and I see Mega. Also from the blue team. Blue team has had a couple late entrants from the looks of it, because now it is no longer 7-7, it's 7-11. So red team now is outnumbered, which is a disadvantage, honestly. It's just more items that are possible hitting you, especially the homing ones. Because if you have a bunch of blue people and not a lot of red people, and the blue homing items don't hit blue teammates, then red team's really in for it. So we'll see. That's when you're really at the whim of Nintendo's balancing, which I know no one likes to hear. But I am trying to figure out who's in first place of Liam's race, because both he and Shannon are in 3 and 4. So 1 and 2, I'm not sure who that is. But speaking of 1 and 2, Dilly now in the position of 2 was just about 1, right behind Kugi, in very good company. Was thinking about that shortcut, not going to go. Meanwhile, there goes Kugi through the shortcut, and looks like he, did have a little bit of an accident, unfortunately. So either way, no real mess, because Dilly is there to keep first place down. And shouts to Dilly for doing that. Meanwhile, Nintunis, not too far behind, has a few blue teammates, or I'm sorry, a few blue oppositions in his crosshairs. Kugi going down to some fireball, and we'll see what he can do to catch up to Kunio. Meanwhile, Kugi does blow by again. Also noticing Glenn is playing Smash at the moment, so shoutouts to Glenn's tournament without Glenn. It's okay. Maybe next time he'll commentate or something. But either way, let's see what happens here. So, does look like, okay, so there we go. Red team getting some much needed points back, with Wheeler and Jozu getting first and second. Liam still getting 4th or 5th or so. Gonna need that, still outplacing some of the blue team, which is important at this point. All right, so just like that, blue team, and shouts to Dilly getting first, Kunio second, and red team Link making it happen. Meanwhile, Nintunis is going to get beat up by whatever blue bot that was, and that is a little bit of a shame. Oh, well, there's Glenn in the lobby. I don't know why it said he's playing Smash. That's so confusing. Unless Glenn's doing some confusing stuff too. I don't know now if people are entering as not their actual names. Now I'm actually confused. Because it literally said on Nintunis' screen that Glenn was playing Smash. Oh, well, not important. He's there, and he's on red team. Red team definitely needs the help, so it's going to be him and Liam, and whoever's behind all of the tags that I didn't move quick enough is going to be trying to make it happen for red. Meanwhile, blue is full up per usual, so really important that red teams start taking a race here and there. Otherwise, they're just going to get washed, which might be the case. But Liam making it back in with the boys in one room, so even though we have an uneven amount of numbers, at least our streamers are finding themselves competitively in the same room. But here we go. Kugi kind of lagging behind, as well as Liam. Meanwhile, Nintunis getting a clean shot at Kunio with that red shell. Nothing to defend himself. I don't see if Kunio was holding something. He may have been. But I don't see anything coming out of Nintunis, so this is a little bit of an opportunity for Nintunis to get some ground, because he's going to need that for sure, especially to sort of avoid the onslaught of blue items that he could probably expect for this race. Being outnumbered by basically blue team as far as like non-bot players go. But here we go, Kunio right back on the tail and trying to, a little bit tricky there. I don't know what happened to Kunio. May have fallen off, but Nintunis, though, is able to keep where he is and still get the boosters. Very good for him, keeping his way in the first. And this looks like Liam has fought his way back into 7th. And there's Kugi on the scene, right behind Luke. And, yeah, Nintunis just barely hanging on. Does have a green shell for defense, but is just barely hanging on in front of Kugi. And that blue shell is going to hurt just a little bit. But really not too badly, I guess, because there's the whole pack right there with him. It does have an entire lap to go. And there's Glenn making his appearance back, getting hit by something. I didn't see what. Meanwhile, Luke chilling in first with Cuneo shortly behind him. And Nintunis above them, unsuspecting to them that Nintunis is ready to pass both. And there he goes. First place for Nintunis, and this would be such a huge win for Red if he can get it. He is going to have to get past Cuneo first, which is no easy task. And wow, almost a snipe with the green shell, but ends up coming back in his face. What a mess there. Then it got rear-ended, it hit past, a little momentum boost, whatever. But still, Cuneo very far ahead, not looking like he's going to be able to catch. Unless that blue shell does something that might actually do it for him. And it doesn't. Cuneo just narrowly getting first as Nintunis gets passed by Glenn at the last bit. But Glenn coming just in time. Maybe Glenn was waiting it out, basically, to see what team needs help. And it is Red, so at the very least, at least Glenn coming in like that. So that's good. I didn't realize maybe he was going for the mix-up, and that does make sense, because Red does need the help and is short-handed. And him being the organizer, it's sort of like you gotta help with that, I guess. Unless you want totally lopsided events. How about we get Mario Circuit? Yeah, so this is what we're looking at. This is what Dilly's asking about, if we want Mario Circuit or Mario Circuit. So well, it does look like a lot of people want Mario Circuit. Alright, so pack of 9, Liam is back with the boys once again. Yeah, I'm a bit of a Mario Circuit guy myself, I gotta say. And I think all these guys, yeah, everybody's in the same place, so we're right back to it, doing the thing that we were doing before. So here is everybody. And this is the 11th race, so we're nearly halfway through, just about. 10th race if you're Liam, and I think like 3rd race if you're Glenn, or 2nd race if you're Glenn. So got some work to do, the red team, but in the meanwhile, these guys are all going to have to duke it out, and only 3 bots in this lobby. I don't know what's going on in the other lobbies, probably not as many. Or I'm sorry, probably more bots, rather. So it does look like Liam found some footing, and now with Glenn ahead of him, that does help. Having a teammate right ahead of you is pretty good. Maybe should have held on to that banana through the second item hold, because Liam did just get hit by a red shell that a banana would have definitely deflected, but instead blue team is going to zoom right past. In that pack was Dilly, who is now currently in 5th. With Nintunis in the crosshairs, and I say that specifically now because he does have red shells, and not going to be able to throw one back to protect himself, but the mushrooms are going to compensate. Meanwhile, Nintunis kind of in this like comfortable little position right behind blue team, who's like front running, but is going to kind of break them up slightly as he is approaching Heartless, who is another person that I'm unfamiliar with. But good shot with the green shell. All you got to do is run over Cuneo. Done. And Nintunis is officially moving. So we'll see what anyone else can do. But Nintunis sitting in 2nd right now is looking like the front runner, and in a very good position. Everyone else right now, I do see Kugi starting to surge just slightly, as he is in 4th place. make that second. Does make the pass on Nantunis. Now Nantunis is the one getting hit by all the items. And yep, there's a blue shell. Not much you could do about that. Meanwhile, watching all the blue team just go right on ahead in probably the worst possible position, which is right before the finish line. So there's Glenn able to hold it down in first for Red. Man, and Red definitely need Glenn more than ever. And then EO going to be the next best placing Red in fifth, and that's going to be a whole pack of blue at second, third, and fourth. So make sure you go, you know, send Nantunis your condolences. That was kind of a rough break if you're looking at where to... Yeah, rough break for Nantunis. If you want to go tell him, you know, either get good or feel better, feel free to do that. His Twitch stream is right there, so you can go ahead and jump in his chat at any time. Meanwhile, shout outs to Koogie for streaming, also Dilly for streaming, and Liam for streaming. Obviously not possible to host these streams without multiple people streaming, so appreciate it very much so. And here we go. Let's see, we got just about a full lobby, one short. If I had to guess, it's probably one short on Red, but I could be wrong. Okay. So it looks like we got Twisted Mansion on deck, and I was right. Red team is shorted one person. Does have the Glen power up though, so that is definitely needed. And let's see what the early, what we could expect early from this race. And we're off, and it does look like an early lead for blue once again. Glenn kind of leading the pack of Red. And Tunis, don't tell him, I don't know if you guys saw that, a little bit of a team spam there, but we don't have to talk about it. Is in 12th place though, and just get some mushrooms, and that makes sense. He's not, you know, the race just started, not too far behind anyone, so none of the crazy items come out yet. Instead, those mushrooms are going to get him back to at least shouting distance of, you know, that competitive air. But it does look like a bit of a struggle for everybody this time around, as every one of our streamers is sitting below, ninth or below, or I'm sorry, okay, Dilly's in fourth, so Dilly kind of carrying the stream at the moment, but everyone is sort of a little bit struggle at the moment, as we're seeing 7th, 9th, 8th, 10th, 5th. So this initial lap kind of looking like a mess. So let's see if lap number 2 is any better to our racers. And it looks like it's already a little better because Nantunis now in 4th does lose the item that he had to a ghost. There is a bullet bill on his tail. Going to want to be careful not to get chipped by that. And I think that might be another bullet bill. All right, he's safe. So now trying to run down Glenn. So at the very least, the red team now hitting the wall. It did look like Dilly was trying some cute stuff with the items, but ended up in a bad position. Does have a star on deck. Is going to use it just in time for the shortcut, and that's as good a time as any to use it, if not a better time. And everybody now underwater. And this is the final lap, so let's see what we got. It does appear that, I don't know who's in first, I don't know who that Yoshi is, but just about to finish. Meanwhile, I'm guessing that's Glenn in second, possibly first, depending on where that Yoshi gets hit. Glenn might be doing it. I'm looking at the mini map, and let's see what the final results were. Oh, okay. So Heartless does get first, and Glenn narrowly passing for second, and that actually not too bad for red team. And Tunis did find his way back to 4th place. EO coming in 3rd, so some signs of life. And boy, oh boy, we got a little bit of a treat. We're going to get Greg Gonzalez from the Greg Gonzalez YouTube.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome.
What's up?
Not too much. How you doing?
Nothing much. Just working. How's the races going?
The races are going pretty good, man. I got 2 red and 2 blue team to watch, so that's kind of good. I like when it happens like that. It makes things easy.
Turn on the.
Oh, right. I gotta give you the screen share. I forgot to do that every time. Okay. Where's the thing? There's the thing. You doing schoolwork or you doing YouTube work?
Huh?
Schoolwork or YouTube work?
YouTube work.
Nice. That's way better. Schoolwork kind of flopping.
It really do be kind of flopping.
But sometimes it's like that. Alright, so, okay, we got a little bit of a different thing. So now Kugi, okay, they got separated. So they were all in the same lobby, but now it's just Kugi with Liam and then Tunist with Dilly. And actually, this appears to be better for everyone because now I see, well, better for everyone if you're red team, who's been kind of getting shellacked. But Liam is in first, and Tunist in fourth. And Dilly actually really not too far behind with Cuneo right there. So I don't know if Nintunis loses his lead. Or he did lose his lead. I spoke too soon. It's going to be bad because we've been seeing this all day where blue team basically just barrages anyone in red who passes. What's your video about?
Why would I tell you?
I thought I'd catch you slipping. Almost though, right? Almost.
Wow, that sucks for Kugi.
Yeah, Kugi has been having a really good day, so I don't feel too bad at the moment. He's going to nail that shortcut like he always does. And Glenn actually started late. Like, I think he started like 8 or 9 races late. At first I thought he dipped because it came on and said he was playing Smash, and I was like, what the heck? But I think he was just waiting because he joined the red team to like, because red team desperately needed help.
I see.
Glenn's a real hero. Did you see Kugi's entering as a different name now?
No.
He's entered as Steezy and is using Donkey Kong like Steezy because he thinks he gets targeted less.
Oh my god, I didn't notice that. That's amazing.
It's actually pretty smart. He won on Sunday, and I think he seems to think it was because of that, and I don't even think I could disagree. But there he is with a second place finish. I didn't see who got first. It may have been Glenn, honestly. I'm not entirely certain. We have to wait for the results. Yeah, Glenn did get first, man. Glenn out with a vengeance today. Making it happen for Red. Red really needed Glenn. How about that? So, Nintuna's low-key kind of flopping today. Not the worst flopping we've seen, but considering last week, I think he got like, or on Sunday, he got like third. Yeah, this is the Greg Gonzalez that we got in commentary. So.
Yes, that is I, the Great Gonzalez.
Making the YouTube content. All right, and dude, okay, at least they're all still in the same lobbies they were. So Liam is gonna stick with Nintoon. Glenn's gonna be in. Oh wait, no, there might be 3 lobbies now. Is there? No, there's. Okay, it's good. It's the same 2. There we go. And it does look like red is outweighed by blue, unfortunately, so they're going to have to deal with those bots, but not too bad. 2 people. And on the other side, yeah, actually both lobbies uneven, but that's what happens. Sometimes, I don't know, I guess everyone's favorite color is blue. Blue just has more teammates, and this week is literally just red versus blue, so, you know, no hooks with carts or bikes or kings or queens or characters from 2000 or not 2000. The old red versus blue format, which I think like was like a big Halo thing originally. Do you remember all the red versus blue cartoons?
Oh yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, those are kind of iconic.
People love those.
Yeah, I didn't really get into them either. I didn't really get into them, but they were definitely like pretty prominent.
They were really popular.
Yeah, everybody loved them. They were just kind of goofy. I actually might.
It was very early internet content.
Yeah, you're right. Very basic too. It was like modders using like Halo to the best of their ability and actually making things.
They weren't
happen.
even modded at first.
Yeah, actually, they didn't have to. Yeah, they just went into open lobbies, which was the thing.
And, they only became modded when the devs gave them like actual free camera access.
I actually didn't realize that happened.
Yeah.
The devs are just like
it was
keep
that
doing
big.
this.
Huh?
The devs basically were just like, hey, keep doing this, and then they gave them access to more stuff.
I mean, it was good marketing.
No, I think that's great. I love that, actually. I wish like more dev teams would do that instead of just trying to cancel shit. That's actually like, you know, get more longevity out of your IP. Why not? Especially for like your Microsofts. Come on. Smart move. Don't say that a lot about Microsoft, but that's a good one. Although I guess that was probably Bungie at the time. That's more than it was Microsoft, but there we go. Kugi with a 5th place. That's his worst placing all day, but not bad because I'm guessing all blue ahead of him because that's how it's been working today. And it was, yeah, there's Heartless, Adam, Dark, EO breaking it up. And I'm not sure who Heartless is, but I think that's 2 first places for him, or her. And then Tunis continues to struggle bus. Meanwhile, Glenn is steering the red team ship all by himself. Liam giving a little bit of a hand there.
Just chilling in a lobby.
Just chilling in a lobby. Now I think we have just 2 lobbies, so it's Kugi who's going to be all on his own. And I'll be curious. Okay, so it looks like 3 versus 2. All right, so that's even-ish. At least Kugi will have a couple red people in there. I don't mean like red people. I mean like, you know. Yeah. Anyways, back to Toad's turn. Oh no, this is Super Bell Subway. I forgot. Yeah. Oh look, there we go. Cold Brew. I think joining up. Haven't seen him yet. If he has, this is the first time we're seeing him in the lobby. And this is a full ass lobby. That's a lot of people. But 15th race, a little better than halfway through for a few of these people, and we're off. So we'll see. This is even playing field, so this is going to be a good race to either turn things around or not. We usually see red or blue finish in packs. That's kind of the trend by nature of how the items work in this format. Yep, bomb on deck for Liam is going to let her rip, and in a good position. Now making his pass at the whole group of blue right in front of him, which does include Kugi, no surprise, who's just very... Oh, wait, no, that's right. Kugi's in a different race altogether. Yeah, Kugi is enjoying the benefits of being in a bot race. He's just... This is like a time trial for him. Meanwhile, Dilly kind of struggling, sitting in that really bad 12th place position, but not always really bad because he's got a star, and now he has 3 mushrooms. Not too bad, especially he's got all red in his sights. He's going to make those fast moves. Another item is going to... Ooh. Yeah, Nantuna's being one of those people Dilly passed. Meanwhile, Liam, in not a bad position for the last lap, is still in 5th. Did get hit by that blue shell, though, with Cold Brew and Glenn right in sight. So at least in a pack of the boys, at the very least, going to have to pass Mega there, who does currently have... Oh, never mind. Getting chipped by Liam's red shell. And Tuna's driving through buses, doing everything he can to get back in the scoring position, and also in a position to chomp at either Mega or Cuneo right when he needs to. Will he get there before the finish line? That's a great question. It looks like not, because he did eat that red shell, and that's rough, man. Rough for Nantunas. Good for Glenn, though, coming in first, Knight in second. And at least Red getting that 1 and 3. Otherwise, looking like it's all blue. So if ever there's a time for a score check, it's probably now. So I'll do that. Meanwhile, Kugi, oh yeah. Kugi, Brother Quang, and Adam going to sweep the other race. Meanwhile, Jozu and I missed the last name are going to take 4th and 5th. Yeah, so there we go. The teams have evened out, and we are now up to 21 racers. However, Red still kind of getting beat up pretty bad here. Down by a deficit of about 350 points, so that's going to not be great. But honestly, that's a couple races getting swung, which is possible, and some of the lobbies have broken up, but not this one super lobby that we've had that has... oh, wow, Kugi's still separate. So Kugi's going to continue to take those free points probably. Even if Adam gives him a race that's still on blue team, and Jozu is really going to have to step up to do anything to Kugi. But I think they're separate lobbies but on the same track, so that's just a little bit confusing. So I'll try not to confuse that too much. But meanwhile, Nintunist, Liam, and Dilly all in the same place in another full lobby. So hopefully Nintunist's luck changes a little bit or it starts to race a little better, because there's just been a few moments where it does look like he's a little bit off of his usual turns. But Nintunist is sort of a momentum type of racer. I think once he finds it, he'll have it. And did have a really good performance on Sunday. So, you know, you might see this. I mean, we've seen this out of Kugi where he'll win a tournament and then slumps the next day. Or, I'm sorry, the next circuit. So, either way, Nintunist now towards the front of the pack, which is not an unfamiliar position for him, especially at this point in the race. So hopefully he's able to keep it. Is now finally found himself way out in first. And we'll see if he continues that. Meanwhile, in his race, Kugi also first. Liam starting to make a surge. Going to be very important if Liam could kind of take on some of these blue players in front of him and start to chip away at that, like basically blue taking all of the points per race. Alright, Nintunist able to cut off a little bit of the race by taking the shortcuts. Uses the mushrooms in the air, why not? That green shell, definitely a threat to anyone. Does hit that Koopa Troopa. I'm not sure who's using that. Oh yeah, they still call them Koopa Troopas. Now it's Liam who finds himself in first place. Unfortunately, as soon as I say that, gets bumped off the map and getting brought back into kind of a bad place by Lakitu, but is going to fight his way. Meanwhile, it is Glenn and Nintunist in 1 and 2 right at the end of the race, so we'll see. Hopefully he's able to keep it. Nintunist is currently in first with the finish line in sight. Glenn right behind him, almost bombing him. Glenn avoiding it, so that's a big one for Red. Definitely going to need that. Meanwhile, Jozu actually overtaking Adam in Kugi's race. And yeah, there we go. 1 and 2 go on the Red, but, you know, the pack of blue right behind him from 3rd to 7th, so definitely not helpful for Red team, but maybe a little bit. Does look like Kugi's checking the scores, so I guess we don't have to. Let's see. Oh, never mind. He's joining. All right, so let's see what's going on. It looks like, yeah, we're getting spectated. Okay, all these guys are going to be in the same lobby, except for Liam, who is going to keep it rolling with Glenn, and I'm not sure who else is in this. I see Cold Brew. I know I've been doing this for too long when I could recognize people's Miis, but all right, so there's Luke. Okay, so yeah, this could be a big break for Red. This is going to be 5 red against 2 blue as far as human players go. So could be just what they need to at least close that score gap, because that score gap got a little bit out of control really almost immediately. Meanwhile, Adam getting nailing that shortcut. Kugi is spectating, so we're going to watch that. Dilly also spectating. And you know what? I'll probably focus in on Liam because spectating is nice and all, but we're all watching the same Adam spectate race, so let's get out of there. Check out what Liam's doing, because he's been racing pretty well and kind of getting a little bit worked in the last lap, which does happen. He does have Heartless to contend with. Heartless has apparently been, you know, he's been pretty good. He's been using that Yoshi.
Has Heartless won any of these?
Yeah, he's won a few. I'm actually not sure who Heartless is.
Maybe it's Justin.
You think so?
I mean, it would fit his aesthetic. The name.
Yeah, it might. I'm not sure if it is though. Justin goes by so many aliases though. No knock on Justin. It's just like I don't know if Mario Kart's the game that he excels, you know. But I guess I wouldn't be surprised. This actually is this. I think this is like a 9-person lobby, or maybe 7. I think that's why I said 5 versus 2. But the other people did start, so I am gonna go to that real quick. Oh wait, no, they didn't. I'm lying. They're still spectating, so I'm gonna keep it on to Liam. Nice. Able to avoid that red shell with the boombox, and Heartless still out in front, but second place would still be very helpful for Red Team as long as he keeps that position and does get the mushroom and uses it effectively, just not enough to catch up the Heartless. So he's going to take that second place, and that's pretty good for Red Team and for Liam at this particular moment. So there you go. And then Glenn and Io in 3rd and 4th. So things might be starting to balance out slightly. Maybe just slightly. Meanwhile, that lobby everybody was waiting for is a small one. This is going to be all blue. Against Intunist. Oh, man. Intunist is probably so mad right now. Because this does actually make a difference. Because all the items are going to hit him. like legit. But it's okay. He's going to survive. And they are getting towards the last. Only 7 more races for these guys. So we'll see if Intunis can hang on here, and does. Oh no, bad start. Blew out the engines. Might be better off actually. Maybe just farm those like 12th place items, even if it's just a mushroom to start. So Adam and Cuneo just above Kugi. So good, comfortable company. Blue team is just going to convoy out ahead. Everyone getting that shortcut. No one's missing that. Meanwhile, Tunis is still going to try and fight his way back. Is sitting kind of... Just missing Toad with that fire flower. Is sitting kind of far back. There we go. He got him. And gets himself 2, so we'll see if he can find himself in good position. Still has 2 full laps to work with, so, you know, could be worse, but blue team is pretty far ahead. And there's some slight tilt kicking in for Nintuno, so that's okay. He has lightning, he's going to use it. There he goes. Definitely needed that. Does allow him to close a little bit of space, at least between some teammates, and make a little bit of a difference. And there we go. Crazy 8 gonna use all those things. Is gonna just get rid of that bomb. Doesn't really need it. And wow, went right through all those items really quickly. Meanwhile, Kugi is sitting in 3rd. Dilly's sitting in 5th. Getting passed by Daisy. Just regular old Daisy. Alright, so that's 2 bullet bills on the field. That's going to be Nintunis and Lenny blasting their way in the 4th and 5th. So, just like that, there we go. Nintunis finds himself right back in position to at least get a decent placing. It's a little bit too late as far as 1, 2, and 3 goes because they all already finished. But Nintunis, at least in a good position. I should not say anything. But, okay, there we go. Dilly almost threatening to pass. Oh, no, what a mess. Yeah, so that's the tough part. When you're playing against all blue team, what's going to happen is all those blue team people are just going to use their items on you, and there's really not much you can do about it.
Yeah.
Because like their items don't hit each other, even if they try. But, alright, so now it looks like we have 2 full lobbies, question mark? No, it looks like 1 big lobby, so there we go. I don't know why Liam's Mies don't have crowns on, but it's okay. Glenn saying not fair in the lobby. Love it.
Shoutouts to Glenn.
Shoutouts to Glenn. Where are we going? Swamp Ruins? Electrodome? Dry Desert? Question mark?
Question mark?
Yeah, that's where we're going, the question mark one. Sometimes the RNG works like that. So Piranha Plant Slide, we go. Yes, are reunited again. Feels so good. Tunis, Liam, Kugi, Dilly all in the same place. Alright, so these first laps are always where it gets the messiest, at least in this particular circuit. That's what it's been. It's been just like a lot of slobber knocker type gameplay in these positions, where it is kind of a free-for-all, everyone throwing out their items wherever they can, despite their teammates are not teammates. But this race seems a little bit more contained. Liam and Nintunis in third and fourth, as Nintunis tries to catch up to Kugi, who is well far ahead at the moment, and really no immediate threat. And I think that blue might be Cuneo, the Rosa, but I'm not entirely sure. But if I was looking at Nintunis' screen, I would know, because Nintunis has found himself in second place. And I think he was successful on the Red Shell Connect. He was against Kugi, who was also inked up. So good opportunity to at least close the gap some, if not pass, and he is going to pass. So we'll see if how this goes. Hopefully gets something to play some defense if Kugi gets something homing, and does have a green shell. Okay. Does have a green shell, so in good shape. Kugi did get that shortcut, but also did get lightnings, and Tunis is going to be careful not to swerve into his teammate. I'm not sure which one that is. Bumping walls, gotta be careful of those. Okay, the teammate was actually Liam, who's in third, and Glenn in second, so this would be a very nice sweep for Red Team if they can get it. And again, it's exactly what they need, so they gotta basically keep that pack safe. And they're in a position to do that. This is the last lap, so barring anything like a lightning or a blue shell, whatever, even a blue shell wouldn't be too detrimental, because if 2 and 3 are also red, then at the very least, even if the Tunis can't recover back in the first, you know, those other guys will finish for him. But it doesn't look like Tunis is going to need that. Glenn does oh no, Glenn did pass him, but he still gets second. Okay, that was scary. And it does look like Liam gonna get third. Let's go. So that's what Red Team needed. Meanwhile, there's your pack of blue players from 4th to 7th. So with that, I am going to check the scores. And also, it's a little bit late to enter. In fact, yes, it's definitely late to enter, but you still technically could. This is what we're doing today. It's just red versus blue. Pretty plain and simple. The old classic. And, you know, just use that tournament code in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe menu, and you're in. That's all you need to do to enter these tournaments. It's that simple. In the meanwhile, here are the scores. Let's see if anything... Okay, so they're still down by, you know, 400 and some change, but, you know, they're at least making some progress, because it was looking a lot worse earlier than this. A lot worse, but Kugi is having such a strong day at 216. Mega and Knight also, you know, we've seen them definitely placing 1 and 2, sometimes 3, in a lot of these races. So they're definitely very big point contributors to Blue Team, as you can see. And meanwhile, Wheeler, the unsuspected point total leader for Red Team, with Eowyn and Tunis kind of significantly behind. We've seen them have a couple rough outings apiece. But yeah, in the meanwhile, we are getting back to it, and it does appear to be F0 time. Here we go, off to Mute City. pretty sure this is Mute City. It is. Okay, so let's see. Kugi off to the early lead, as he usually is, man. Kugi, you can't let him get in the lead early, because he's going to pull away. I just realized we have 2 Kugis on screen. That was my mistake. There we go. That's better. So, yeah, Nantunis is going to struggle to find his way along with Liam towards the top of the pack. Is going to get that shortcut nonetheless, though. Well played. Definitely needed it to stay in contention, so we'll see what he can do. Meanwhile, there goes Kugi as he was before. Pretty far ahead in first. Watch out for that Bullet Bill. There's Glenn right ahead of Liam, and Knight. You know, one of Blue's heavy point contributors does fall to 6th, as Liam continues to get a little bit of a jump ahead and does nail the shortcut, and another one jumping on the lower track. Meanwhile, Kugi's already done, already finished. Liam in kind of a bad place in the rough. Does get passed by Dilly. And yeah, that's Blue taking it right back from Red pretty convincingly. And that's going to hurt Red Team, man. 2 of their big names, Glenn and Nantunis, coming in 11th and 12th. Yeah, Kugi, that's why like these streams are good, especially if like you're into just getting the play, is you could like actually watch how Kugi plays, and you learn a lot about how to like actually do it. So whether you be following in game or just following a stream, you just learn how to do these races. Kugi's been doing a lot of time trials and just running through this game a lot, just kind of labbing, so to speak. And it shows. It really shows. Just constantly just outperforming a lot of people here, and really none of the usual pros we've been seeing. At least today. The team circuits have a tendency to run a little bit different than some of the other stuff, but these guys are going to stay all in the same place, looking like either TikTok clock or, yeah, we'll just see where we go. All right, so TikTok clock it is. We've been to TikTok clock a few times, but here we are right back to it. You can already see the difference in points. Red Team just having a few more heavy hitters than Blue. Now approaching just 5 more races left. So Kugi showing that he is a little bit human after all. Does kind of mix up a little bit on the gears, but you know, still in good position to jump right back in the lead. It is currently in 6th place though. Meanwhile, Nantunis right back in that usual 5th place that he's been kind of in all night. So if he can start breaking out of that now, there's really no better time with only 5 more races left. Meanwhile, there's Kugi. He's gaining some ground on Glenn. Glenn is currently sitting in 2nd behind, I believe that's Heartless in 1st. Yeah, that is the Yoshi player who's well out ahead. So Heartless, I don't know where Heartless came from, but he's actually pretty talented with this game. So Yep, this is the final lap. Kugi about to get third behind, yeah, Heartless, who I believe got second behind Glenn. Glenn making it happen, able to basically fight off Heartless. Yeah. So despite all the odds, Glenn's still making it happen for Red Team. Meanwhile, Liam coming in 5th and Jozu 6th. Otherwise, looking like a whole lot more blue, which, you know, is what we've been seeing all night. So blue team currently running away with things and continuing to. Barring any miracles from Red Team, this circuit's looking like a open shut case, looking like it's just going to be blue team for the week. And I'm trying to remember the first couple weeks. I think blue legit might just be everybody's favorite color. I feel like blue is always kind of leading despite the theme or whatever. But here we go. We got split up queues again, I think. Yeah, so it's Liam finding himself in the larger queue this time. Meanwhile, Kugi is going to be with Dilly. And the Tunists. Meanwhile, there's Glenn, Liam, and Jozu. Cold Brew, EO getting the slight advantage over Knight, Heartless, and the other name I didn't see, but yeah, so this could be a little bit of a momentum swing for Red. I do think it might be a little bit too late for Red to really make anything happen as far as like winning, but I could be wrong, you know. I mean, that's why they play the game, right? So we'll see what happens. Right now, though, this is what we're looking at. Liam currently in 3rd, and if he could take advantage of this current lobby he's in, then that is going to be really good for Red Team. Alright, so on the bottom right, Liam is going to look to continue to take advantage of this current race that he's in that features a little bit more red than blue. So if Red can sweep that game, and he does have Glenn to help him out, that's going to be a big deal. Meanwhile, on the other end of things, we do have... Hold on, gotta fix this. Oh no, we're good. So Natunas in that good position that he's been getting into, just been having a hard time keeping. Here, using that boombox, look to get rid of some stuff for Natunas. Meanwhile, he's zooming, is trying to hone in on Kugi. I don't know if he's going to be able to. Kugi is pretty far ahead and using Donkey Kong, so, you know, any moment of being uncontested is going to get him further ahead. But he is, in fact, contested by Natunas, who did use the red shell on him and then did get a quick jump with the mushroom off the ramp. And it looks like Liam was not necessarily able to take advantage of the situation that Red Team found. Instead, it was Heartless able to get himself a first place in that last race. All right, so Nantunas does get himself second. Kugi well out ahead, but Wheeler continuing to do his thing right behind Nantunas. Liam's room does appear to be filled in, and I do see... Okay, so he is now with Nantunas, Dilly, Cuneo. Yeah, he's in with some people now. All right, everyone's back in the same place. So lobbies have been jumping around a little bit, but not too bad. We've been pretty fortunate today seeing everybody in the same place. But here we are on the Rainbow Road, the Super Nintendo Rainbow Road. This one's pretty tough in this game. It's obviously tough in Super Nintendo days too, but geez, I keep realizing I get the wrong screen share every time. There we go. Kugi, landing that big ramp short that you need the mushroom for. We see so many people try to take on that ramp week to week that either don't realize they don't need it, that they need a mushroom, or just don't care and try going for it anyways and fall. But anyways, you did nail it. Still is only in second place, so meanwhile it's Liam who's in first. So we'll see if Liam could keep his position here. It might be difficult. Liam has been a little bit hot and cold today. Trying to cut off that mushroom is what I'm guessing. Or I'm sorry, the shell is what I'm guessing. And there's another shell coming for him, this time blue in color. Meanwhile, here comes the pack passing, and this is lap 2. So a bit to go. Oh, never mind, sorry, lap 3, not that much to go. Excuse me. And in clockwork fashion, here comes Kugi to win the race once again, right at the home stretch. Is in first place. Gonna throw out all the weapons. Why not? You're well far ahead. We'll see what red teammate is able to maybe break up what otherwise is probably a blue convoy, I believe, in 1, 2, and 3. Doesn't look like anyone, so that's Kugi in first, Cuneo second, Mega third. Liam and Wheeler fourth and fifth. Meanwhile, in Tunis, continuing to have a rough day. Sometimes it really do just be like that, so it just, you know, it happens. So this is a good time for a full lobby. This is towards the end. I think there might be, this might be the 23rd race, maybe 24th, possibly. But this is a good one. This has all of everyone in it, really. This is a full race of 12, and this is the 23rd race, so only this one and another one, and then that's it. So red team, not a whole lot of room to cover up for all the ground that they've lost over the course of the day, so this is kind of looking like blue team's tournament. It's really looking like blue team's tournament, but, you know, who knows? Even if red were to sweep here, like places 1 through 6, probably won't make that big of a difference, but let's see what we got. You know, you definitely still want to finish your races. And there's Liam again with an early lead, man. He does get those early leads. I think if he could figure out how to really get far ahead and, you know, avoid those big clusters with items where he falls behind and then struggles to get back, like, he's pretty solid. So the lead he has right now is somewhat significant, and with Kugi being in 9th place, that's pretty helpful for Liam in terms of not having to worry about getting passed in 1st. But Neptuna's currently sitting in 3rd. I think 2nd is another red team. It is all red, so it could potentially be that sweep I was talking about at the start of the race. Tunis almost getting the snipes. Not able to get Dark, though. Very elusive. Or, I'm sorry, Mega, excuse me. Liam is going to continue to be in 1st place. This is the last lap, so does have defense against the red shell. Is going to need it. Here comes another red shell. Not much to do about that one. Does get passed by Heartless in the last minute, and there's another one getting passed by EO. I'm going to hope that that was Kugi's red shell, but there we go. Right at the end, just as I was saying. Heartless coming in big. Cuneo also kind of swoosing in at 3rd place. Meanwhile, there's your red pack. 4th to 7th. That one definitely hurts a little bit. Liam kind of had that the whole time through. Didn't have it enough, though, apparently. Yeah, that one hurts. Also, thank you for the follow, Kart Clash. Appreciate it, man. And also, if you ever want to join these tournaments at any time, it's a little late for this one, but there's your tournament code in the top right. Just use that, and you're in. That's it. Free, no questions asked. Good little community of people we got playing. We got a good Discord, and this is going to be the last race for these guys. I think Liam has one more, but other than that, everyone we're watching is going to be done. So we will be ending after this. Yeah, last race for Dilly, last race for Nintunis, and last race for Kugi, I believe. Liam might have one more, and I know some other people who joined probably have some more. But in the meanwhile, this is what we got for you guys here. So and I think Blue basically kind of has this wrapped up. I know Glenn joined late and was like 10 races behind, so he might be able to close some of the gap, but it seems unlikely. From where we're at, we are going to have to end after this because we don't have anyone else to watch. But yeah, if you are just joining in, we do circuits every single Tuesday that are teams. We do circuits every single Sunday that is free-for-all. Those have been a lot of fun. If you're curious what the singles or the free-for-alls look like and you've never seen these before, check out our YouTube page. We put all of these VODs on the YouTube right after they happen. And last Sunday was actually really exciting to watch. We had five streamers. All were pretty close races. With the results pretty satisfying. So, you know, be sure to check those out. And again, we do these team races every single Tuesday, a little bit different format. Today, really simple with just red versus blue. In the past, we've done karts versus bikes. We've done kings versus queens as far as, you know, genders in the game. But anyways, last race, middle of it, we'll see Kugi kind of inconspicuously sitting with the Steezy and the Steezy character in fourth, all inconspicuous-like, but we'll probably pass towards the end. We'll see. That's what he's been doing. Meanwhile, Liam is going to find himself towards the top of the pack once again, and I did see Jozu zooming ahead, presumably in first at the moment. Alright, getting close to that final stretch. Last race. Let's see what we got going on right now. Does look like Blue that is going to finish 2 and 3 and 1 with whoever that was so far ahead. I'm not sure he was playing Ludwig. It was Adam. There we go. So Adam, Cuneo, and Kugi going to close it out for Blue, and I'm pretty sure That is going to be a huge win for blue today. A very big win for blue. Nantuna's kind of the struggle today. Usually kind of a hero for his team. That's all right. Glenn's still in it for red team. So red does still kind of have that going on at the very least. Liam's still giving it his best shot. So while we watch Liam take in his final race, we are going to, or I am going to check the scores for you guys, and then we'll check that out. We'll probably finish out Liam's race, because by the time we actually check out the scores and everything else, he's going to be almost done. So let's check the standings, and they are as such. So yeah, taking a bit of a whooping, approximately 550 points worth of whooping is red team to blue. So blue does appear to have kind of wrapped this one up. Even if red does have some big performances towards the end, I don't think it's going to be nearly enough to really make a big impact. Glenn did start late and is at 147, but even if he breaks in that like 4th to 7th range, it's still the team total is a team total, so kind of a shellacking. But we are going to, out of respect, F for respects for red team, we are going to watch Liam close it out. Does have Adam to contend with, and it looks like Heartless still, so two very good players, and gets the Lakitu treatment over the usual gliding point. So that, not the best way to start, but it happens. It does have quite a few bots ahead of him. Gonna look to make the moves on those guys, and continues to, until he's got Adam in sight in 4th, and then probably some more blue ahead of him, because okay, there's Cold Brew. So Cold Brew in the action at the very least, and that red shell going out for Heartless, who is just going to continue to zoom ahead. But there's Jozu and Cold Brew, and Liam just letting it rip. Going to pay for it a little bit with those blue shells. Almost getting taken out at the ramp again, which would have been a real shame. Instead, does get the boost. And more lightning. This is a really chaotic race, especially in 7th place. Getting hit by a lot of things. Yo,
Guys.
You scared me. But I'm okay now. Yeah, so this is the last race, and I think this is the 2nd lap, so almost done. Meanwhile, Blue's pretty much already won everything, but just going to watch Liam finish it out for us. As I say, thank you to everybody for watching and for entering and for playing and enjoying these things. They do go on every single week, so don't be shy. There's a tournament code on the top right for these team circuits. If you check out our YouTube, Master Hand Gaming YouTube, you'll see all the single stuff. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all we got. I just now realized after this whole thing that I still have Heroes vs. Villains at the top, which has been there for weeks now. No one has said anything. That's okay. Red versus blue, all the same difference. These overlays are actually due for a rehaul anyways, which I just got to get to. Oh, something important for you guys watching. So I'm going to be hosting a stream much similar to this for the Nintendo RAN tournament, which is happening on Friday. There's actually a Friday Nintendo tournament for Mario Kart, which is kind of crazy that they're even doing that. But that is on Friday, and I am going to be streaming the same as I'm streaming for this. So before I sign us out, I do want to show you guys what I'm talking about. They announced it on their Nintendo Versus Twitter page. Here we go. So yeah, here we go. So this is happening on Friday. So if you want to enter this, let me know. I am planning to stream it, so I will be getting more runs in. And this is kind of a cool thing, man. It's crazy that Nintendo's even doing something at all for these games, but they are. So May 8th through the 10th. This is like a 3-day thing. I just realized that. I'm thinking that it's only Friday. So I'll figure that out. I will figure out what I'm going to do for a stream, but I'm probably going to do something. So maybe I'll see you there, maybe I won't. Either way, that's what's going on. But I do want to thank you guys for watching, for contributing if you're streaming, and for everything. So check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/MasterHandGaming. Find all these, as well as lots of Smash content. We had this tournament for Card Saga Wars. If you don't know what that is, go check it out. It's super cool. Otherwise, that's it. We'll see you on Thursday for DNA Smash.
Wait, was that the tournament?
That was the tournament.